They say the system heavy, built of iron and coal, but it panics at a tweet and a kid with a phone. Fort Knox made of glass, just reflections and smoke. One mirror in the wrong hands and the whole thing chokes. Kings in their castles, Wi-Fi in the moat, guarding the bandwidth like it's Holy Ghost. They flex stability, I just laugh in my throat. You ain't strong if you scared of a single post. They say trust the structure is too big to fall. Funny how it blocks me but boosts them all. If we had the same reach, same megaphone call, they'd hear thunder in the silence of their marble halls. Oh, look how mighty, yeah, look how tough. Shakes when the crowd gets a little too loud. What? Equal signal, watch the pillars turn dust. Build, don't control, cause the truth ain't enough. You call it power, I call it bluff. Whole empire weak when the noise is us. They drippin' freedom like it's merch in a shop. Limited edition terms and conditions on top. They curate courage, algorithmic props. Only brave when the comments are filtered and locked. They sell me choice with a preset menu. Every lane gated, every dream venue. Say speak your mind, then they mute the venue. Guess free speech means free for the few, too. They say you're paranoid, the game is fair. Funny how the winners all share the same air. Same sponsor, same script, same millionaire stare. Tell me who's fragile when they can't share. Oh, look how mighty, yeah, look how tough. Shakes when the crowd gets a little too loud. What? Equal signal, watch the pillars turn dust. Build, don't control, cause the truth ain't enough. You call it power, I call it bluff. Whole empire weak when the noise is us. If the mic was neutral, if the feed was clean, if the reach was equal, know what that mean? No gods on pedestals, no smoke on the screen. Just humans realizing they're not what they seem. They ain't giants, they're shadows on the wall. Projecting big cause they scared we'll stand tall. All that order, just a carefully placed stall. One real echo in the house of cards fall. So keep your crown, made of bandwidth and fear. We'll keep planting voices in the cracks you can't hear. You don't rule the world, you just rent the veneer. And the least get shaky when the people get near. Oh, look how mighty, yeah, look how tough. Shakes when the crowd gets a little too loud. What? Equal signal, watch the pillars turn dust. Build, don't control, cause the truth ain't enough. You call it power, I call it bluff. Whole empire weak when the noise is us. Not strong, just loud. Not kings, just routers with a crown.
Hey, hello, and welcome to a brand new episode of Helios Psychosis Podcast. This is your host, Vikka Draziv. Hope you guys are doing great. Hope you guys had a awesome week. It's nice to be back. Maybe most of you guys might be thinking, what happened to Vikka last week? What happened? Why there wasn't a show last week? So in Spain, we would have had Spain, Portugal, France, Italy, and some part of England were flooded. There were winds of 120 to 200 kilometers per hour that week. So it was crazy shit happening around here in Europe. So that was the reason it was all the whole area had to be evacuated. And that is the reason I wasn't here last week. And all I could say is that these people are trying to play God. And the politics happening around the world between the tensions of Americas and Europe and the power struggle and control is the reason might be the things happening how it was. It was like almost like a freaking hit, sudden hit, right, to all the European countries. So politics with dash of engineering. What this is what I think what happened there. But everything is good. Everything is good. There is always the one who protects is bigger than the ones who wants to destroy us, right? Yeah, sometimes it's kind of a miracle, right? Like imagine 100 meters around you, everything in 100 meter around in circle is flooded and you're not, you have some water, but but it's crazy. This is freaking amazing. I'm glad. Yeah. Many things these people are going to do in this coming year with all this technology. So we all have to take care because they don't have really good interest for the people. They would use any way to clean things up, right? Because they need to, because a lot of pensions and things need to be paid, and they if they clean it up, maybe they can give it to other people. This is what I think looks like what they're trying to do. But tonight is not that topic about that. Tonight's topic is the electric sun, right? The amazing scientist, which the people don't want to acknowledge. We will be speaking about too, right? Why is it that when we go above at a certain altitude, we see it's really cold? Isn't it the sun is supposed to be a fusion going on and like, heat and all this shit, right? It's not happening. So a lot of detail we want to go in tonight because I think even the flat earthers still don't understand what the sun is, right? As you hear the people in the debates, like, not having the all idea of what the sun could be doing. So this sun is electric, this universe is electric, it's all a huge light show, like, phenomena going on, neon, things, lighting show, lasers kind of thing happening there. That's what the electric universe is supposed to be. So get your tea, coffee, spliff, wine, whatever makes you comfortable, and let's jump into tonight's topic. But before we do that, tonight this is a special night tonight because we have a co-host for heliopsychosis, and I'm glad to have him because I met him maybe a few months ago, and I really like the way he was doing his stuff, like the real flat out truth. And we connected, and we were inviting each other to our shows, and we had a great time. So it connected really well, and we wanna take this ahead. So I'm really glad to invite as a co-host to Paulino B. Michael from the Flat Out Truth, which can be found on all the platforms, Facebook, YouTube, mainly on TikTok, and all of the channels, and independent page to the flatouttruth.com. So it's kind of a collaboration right now going on between Heliopsychosis podcast and the Flat Out Truth to get the message far about. So let's have a warm welcome to our brother Paulino B. Michael.
Hey,
Paulino, how are you, brother? Welcome to Heliopsychosis as a co-host. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. The best thing about being a co-host is that you have to plan everything, and I love that. But I love doing promos. I do love doing promos. You can see that. There's something about it. It's the artist in me. I like to do the promos. I like to put the music to it. I'm gonna have to get some music from the Matrix there. Yeah, I like some of his grooves there. But I'm glad that you're doing great. It gave us more time to do more promos while you were making sure you were safe and your family was safe and all that. But yeah, we hit it off really well. It's all about reaching more people, and I like that. That's what you want to do. We want to go outside the bubble of people that didn't even know they want to know this stuff. We have to offer it to them, and I think that's what we're going to be doing together. So I love it.
Oh yeah, brother, absolutely. This is what it's all about sharing and picking our brains and the people, like, and trying. We all learn from it. I see here someone Matrix reject saying 3 ads so far. This is the thing, right? Before all the live shows, you only got the ad once the show was over. Now they have given you option that when the people come, so with StreamYard, you can do it now. Before you couldn't. So if you have to see a couple of ad guys to get in here, please don't get annoyed, because it's a bit of like, a few ads. It's not like, so. And also the people who might be like, not there are not many people who are complaining when they see the show after the live, and they have to see some ads, right? So if you don't want to see some ads, come to the live and try to see it live, but a couple of ads here and there, right? It's a new this thing of where you could do with StreamYard before you couldn't. So it's a kind of thing, right? When the people are together, like a couple of ads here and there, right? It's not like, we're trying to sell you some pack of a VIP or something for $150 or something like that, right? That's also a collaboration, right? What these people used to do before.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so this is the thing. Heliopsychosis, like, so many people have passed from here, like so many panelists were here, like, and it's great. We all learn, we always learning, but this has to continue. We have to go ahead, right? We understand that not every people can like, go on with that passion, right? And as I said, like right now, we are not having open panels, right? Because we want to slow it down a bit too, because it was too much, like going on for 4 hours, 5 hours, like, full of panel, and like, sometimes it's just going out of the main theme and topic that we were trying to cover, right? And it just was like extending for so long that it's sometimes doesn't feel like where it's going somewhere in right way, right? That is the reason we need to cut it down a bit and slow it down and try to focus now on some topic specific. And as I said, we are not like saying we are not going to be doing panelists in the future. For sure we will be, but we want to slow it down. We want to go like topic and slowly and more relaxed, because sometimes it looks like, because imagine with 5 people on the panel, half of the things you don't even get time to put it out there. The reason you would been doing the podcast, and maybe you have to do 3 parts, right? 3 parts for 4 hours. That's a lot of hours, guys, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
So
yeah, because like you're saying, there's so much data to put out there, and when you have more minds, they're going to say something that might trigger another topic, and you're getting away from the main topic. That's like well, that's what we do when we do our show as well, and that's what you're trying to do here. Is you're trying to be more specific on a topic, get it all out, so it doesn't get watered down, right? That's really what you want to do. You want to focus on this, get the questions about this, and then, but they might spring up another topic for your next show.
Oh yeah, a little bit of going on a tangent, a little bit is all right, but not like, so. But it happened a lot of time. It's like, in the end, I had to get it back to the topic and continue with the topic, right? So it always happens also. So let's see where we go. Yeah, tonight we want to discover the electric sun, right? And I'll play something here. Let me see if I can play. All right. A lot of globe earthers, they ask, like, is there any scientist who is a flat earther, right? It's such an absurd question. The reason Nikola Tesla is not in so many books is because of this. He understood what this realm is. Most of his technology worked because he understood the real functioning of this earth. Like, they want us to believe like the sun is like a nuclear furnace, right? But according to Tesla and his predecessor, Eric Dollard, It's supposed to be a transformer, a cold transformer hovering above us, all right? So one of the most important person without whom we wouldn't have technology, we wouldn't have an AC motor. AC motor is the basis of all motors that we use, being it from a hairdresser, a hairdryer, to your washing machine, to anything robotics. Everything that moves needs a motor, is thanks to Nikola Tesla. That's how important he is in this technological world, right? Radio transmission. Yeah.
You know, I like the part where you're talking about, like, nobody thinks about why does it get colder when we go higher? Most people don't even think about something that common sense. Like, if it was really above us that high, it wouldn't get colder. Just wouldn't.
Oh yeah. And even on a sunny day, on 35,000 feet, it's minus 40 degrees. So what is happening? What is the sun doing? Right?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, those are all great questions.
So that means that the heat is a very local phenomena. It's only happening very near to the surface. And the light itself, the light and the daylight itself is another phenomena, right? Because Tesla, he envisioned the earth not as a dead rock drifting through space, but he saw the earth as a resonant electrical body, a gigantic coil, like an instrument at a planetary level humming at a measurable frequency. And he knew this energy could be transmitted wirelessly. Power without wires, power without combustion. Alrighty. Eric Dollard was the one who was following his work, right? As I said, most of his technology was based on observations of what the earth is, right?
Eric Dollard is the only known man who can accurately reproduce many of Tesla's experiments with radiant energy and wireless energy transmission. He is able to do so because he understands that conventional electrical theory only includes half the story. Nikola Tesla gave us the technology that has created our entire electrical grid and communications systems. Tesla aspired to create a system that would light up the entire world without wires. In the end, a combination of his own ruin with the agenda of the wealthy elite brought about his downfall and banishment. Undaunted by this, Eric set out to recreate all of Tesla's technology and design a self-powered system, faster than light and lossless communication. Eric managed to rediscover Tesla's core job, but had to live in the desert. He did more than 4 years of research on the sun at Sonoma State University before his lab was taken away. His research on the Sun led him to conclude the following. The Sun has no internal structure, it is empty. The Sun is just a surface, there is nothing inside. The Sun is not burning anything, there is no fusion.
That's Dollard, right? Continuing the study of Tesla. The sun is empty, it's cold, it's dark. Many people they say it's the black sun. We see it white. It's very similar to something when we see the storms, right? When we see those lightning, it creates like a day, right? When it strikes the lightning. So imagine it's an accumulation of all that power in a ball and it's continuously lighting, right? If we want to explain what the sun could be, according to these studies.
The Sun is a transformer. It is an energy converter from another dimension, with light and heat being residual processes.
Yeah, like light and heat become like being a residual, right? That's what when we speak about the daylight. Why is it that the people, when they go in a high altitude balloon footage, you see the dark? You see dark. Even though you see the sun, you see black. And then you see the blue and the light below. Very local phenomena. The heat and light are very local phenomena. We could imagine something like a neon light. The neon light needs gas, right? And the atmosphere plane, if you want to call it, is full of gases and different gases, right? The different temperature, and when the sun comes out, because the light and the heat is two different things, it's not the same thing. That is the people need to understand that too. That is the reason the sun's path are important. The time of the year at different tropics that it's going and creating those storms, these are because of the magnetic field of the earth and the magnetic field of the sun clashing. That is the reason the storms, the earthquake, everything forms. It's because of the sun. And it has nothing to do because it's going on two different directions because of a globe. No, it's not happening. It goes in any kind of direction it can go. Even the tides have to do with the electromagnetic energies of the earth and of the luminaries.
During more than 30 years of electrical research and experiments, Dillard destroyed 8 laboratories mysteriously burned. He also conducted countless experiments proving that the sun is not a fiery ball in this space. The electrical engineer affirms that the sun is approximately 6,000 kilometers from Earth and not 150 million kilometers, as it is officially said.
Exactly. That's the proof of a local sun, right? It's not 93 million miles away. The reason we have the different tropics and so different climate, even maybe 500 kilometers from one place to another, tells us that the sun is local. We have ice and no life where the sun doesn't reach. I can go 600, 500 kilometers and I am in the sun. Again, just crossing the tropics or going to the equator. 93 million miles away won't do that. That's the most basic and fundamental proof that shows that it's a local sun and no ain't tilt going on anywhere.
Light cannot travel in the vacuum of space, so rather the sun is inside the ionosphere, Dillard says. The heliocentric model tells us that the sun is a star at the center of a planetary system, a star made up of hydrogen and helium that has trace.
For sure, you have heard Paulino, right? The excuse they have for the sun being a fusion. Like, how is it possible a fusion without an oxygen? They put themselves in the trap of their pseudoscience, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. Now, and this is what I always thought interesting too. I don't know if it's supposed to depict the real sun here or the sun, but why is it like orange and like that, but not white, like we see it, like bright? Like, how would you ever take a picture of it closer? You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't look like that at all when we see it with our naked eye or through a camera. It's so bright.
Oh yeah, this is the CGI, right? They're just trying to show, and yeah, even the NASA, what they show us, yeah, it's all just filters and shit. Like,
yeah, it doesn't make sense at all. Like, none of it makes sense. I like the way you said, like in the film, it says too, like you go up, everything's bright below it, but when you start going above it, it turns dark. You got the blue and then black. Like, why isn't it radiating everywhere else? It's not its purpose.
Exactly, and exactly, it looks like one focus, right? In all the darkness, just one focus of a light, and you have the blue below, right?
Yeah, it's more like a spotlight, but it's for everybody. It's really interesting phenomenon.
Oh yeah, and if you really see those high altitude balloon footages, you see the sun, but try to see the moon. You will also see the moon. The moon looks really small.
Yes.
Because it's something, the atmosphere is playing some kind of a trick that the moon looks big, because in the high altitude balloon footages, the moon looks really small.
Yeah. It's very, I mean, this whole thing is very interesting. Like you said, it's phenomenon. It just, I mean, like when I look at all this stuff about the moon, how it looks transparent at times, and it's very interesting.
Oh yeah, and this is the thing, right? According to the Vedic cosmology, all these luminaries are in its own layer, right? And according to the Vedic cosmology, the sun is the lowest, not the moon.
Right.
That is the reason you see it so close. You feel it. You feel the heat, like in a way, right? When it comes. Because it comes, we feel the heat. Because if there is no sun, the heat is not coming, even though it's local.
Yeah, so direct. Like at noon or whatever, you know, it's the hottest between noon and like 1 over here where I live.
Exactly. And even here in the summer, it's really hot.
Yeah. Nature's amazing. That's why I get quiet when you're playing this. It's like, just makes me think of like how we live here and like how it was created.
Oh yeah,
we're blessed.
Always. And this is the thing, right? It's all out there. It's all out there if the people really want to know what it is. But as I said, our mind is not capable of taking in that much information. It's not that it's not out there, right? All the different cosmologies speak about how all these things work.
You know, it's really interesting that you did the mechanical realm. This whole thing's mechanical. Everything. That was, Something led you for that. I'm telling you, that's just I don't know, sums it up. The mechanical realm. Everything's a big clockwork in the sky. Everything works on time. Oh, it's amazing. The designer, the creator, God.
Oh,
It's just
absolutely, and we are also part of that mechanism. There are wheels moving in us. Some people call it the energy center, some people call it the chakra, but it's the same thing. It's the endocrine system of human body, right? If we are not in harmony and aligned with the celestial clock, that is the reason what we were mentioning before about the daylight hours changing, right?
Yes.
They manipulating the natural cycle bioclocks of the human, and it makes 40% chances of an attack because of that 1 hour change.
Yeah. And just like we were talking about, like the manipulation of weather, that throws it all out of whack as well. Then it has to self-correct, which makes things worse. Yeah. They gotta let nature run its course, but they won't.
Oh yeah, they're playing around. They're playing around with technology. Every year the seasons are screwed, the harvests are screwed, the timings,
Yes.
for all. You can see that this year was really, really crappy for that, right? A tree that would give 500 fruits is not even giving 20, right?
Yeah. And then that changes culture, right? And society, the stress.
Exactly. Yeah, somebody might have the key for this to maybe turn it up a little bit, right? Because that's how we keep time, right? That's how we know where is our, as we mentioned in the last podcast, right? The longitudes and latitudes. That's how we know, because of these luminaries.
Yes. The clock, the calendar.
Exactly. And it's been always for everyone like that in every corner of this plane. That was their connection. This is the thing, right? Flat Earth, it's like the light. Like a light. It's like the heaven. Flat Earth connects you to the consciousness. Flat Earth connects you to the Creator. Flat Earth connects you to the heavens. But what does the heliocentric does? It connects you to hell. It connects you to fear. It connects you to technology. It connects you to atheism, right? It connects you to fear of death because you're going away from the Creator. Literally, if you would have a definition of good and evil, that's what it is in simple words. Flat versus round. You freaking lying to yourself by telling that this earth could be a globe, the baby of the Big Bang. You're nowhere near to the freaking Creator if you believe in a globe.
Yeah, they really fooled a lot of people on that to go against everything that they see, feel, and common sense.
Oh yeah, the people are not believing their own freaking senses, dude. Like, everything is moving about. No, it's not. You are freaking moving. Man, you have to be out of your freaking mind to believe that shit. And there are people who does that.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah, for sure. But if you go on a merry-go-round or something, you're moving. It's really, I don't know, man. I don't know how, like, it's strange that they could fool us from the beginning like that.
Oh yeah. The globe is hell.
It does trap
That's
people.
what it is. It's the darkness. Yeah.
Yeah, it does. It puts you in this box, and then all you'll focus on is your job and working and things, and that's it.
Exactly, and like live in the fantasy of, like, you're nothing, a piece of dust in this infinite universe. You don't have salvation, you have nothing. Exactly, how would you freaking have if you believe where you come from? You're gonna be looking in that dark deep space for what? Salvation? What are you be looking for? Right, this is what they have given you. Go save yourself in this dark universe where you are a piece of dust. Right, instead of believing that this is an intelligent design created from the microcosm to the macrocosm, everything. Right, no, 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 don't believe in that. Believe that you came from a big bang. You believe that you came from the primordial soup. Believe that you are an ape dancing on a spinning ball.
Yeah, because if they can get you to believe that, then you're not special. But it's like they never really think of the end, the consequences, the lineage. What are you leaving your children? It's really they got it. They got the masses. They just do. It's gonna be a hard task, but let's try to reach as many people as we can. Get them curious. And I love your show. I love your documentaries. This will help. We just gotta get it out, man.
Oh yeah, absolutely, bro. The documentaries are really out there, right? More than we could imagine, right? For sure. They couldn't hold that thing up, right? Even though there was a lot of people, right, making sure that it doesn't go, but it did, right? So it's good. It's good. I'm glad that I could, with the help of the amazing people who were when I was doing those documentary. Without them, it wouldn't have been possible. So I'm glad that it's out there between all this entertainment and generic bullshit. It's out there about this topic. I'm glad that these documentaries are out there, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's so much truth in it, and it's curious. Like, there's people that like to watch. There's that show, Oak Island. Those type of people would love the mechanical realm and flatten the curve. They just would. They just don't like. They don't know it yet. We just got to get it to them. People like that. Even like Chelsea's father, my wife, my co-host, same thing. I'm gonna get them to watch some of these, and I'm gonna see what happens.
Oh yeah, brother. This is the thing. If flatten the curve, for example, is it subtitled in more than 7-8 languages, right?
Wow. Yeah.
And by people, not by me, right? And it was also on an
Amazing.
independent pages and documentary sites and all the platforms you go, you're gonna find Flatten the Curve uploaded by people, also on YouTube, on all different independent platforms, right? It has reached Flatten the Curve. I think has reached, and I think many celebrities have also seen Flatten the Curve. The celebrities who are turning flat earthers.
Nice.
Right, so that's great.
I can't wait to see what your next project is, but I don't want to try to get off too much of the topic of the sun. This is very interesting, though. Tesla and everything he was doing. I don't mean to stray you off, but man, I'm excited to be here, man. I'm gonna be honest. Like this is some other little rabbit holes I can go down, and I love to learn. So this is very interesting to me. I've heard some of it, but this is getting more detailed.
Oh yeah, always. It's like revisiting things and looking more deeper helps us understand it more, right? And maybe
I
it
don't know.
helps us to explain to other people when it's required than just saying the sun is local, that's it. The sun is electric, that's it, right?
Yeah, how much we rely on that is amazing that people just overlook it. They take it for granted. We tend to take things for granted. the next day, the next week, the next hour, even.
Oh
Really?
yeah, and a lot of people have put in effort also to that this thing stays where it is, because right, and that the people know what is the true reality of this realm. And these people really understood it. They gave their life in studying these things, right?
Yeah, it's like our whole life is just camouflaged by filters. And now I know why everybody likes filters so much on all these apps, to make themselves look better, taller, sing better, whatever they got to do. People want to ignore the reality. That's what they got us to right now. It's time to
Oh
wake up.
yeah.
Yeah, the sun is amazing. Even this fake one in front of me.
Oh, I love the sun. I love the sun. I'm not a heliocentrist, but sun is the giver of life, guys. Right? If the sun don't come out, my fruits and vegetables are not gonna grow. Right? I need that divine light more than anything. We all need it, right?
Yes. And they always tell us to stay out of it, right? Don't stare at it. Don't stay in the sun. Stay away from the sun. It's very interesting.
I think that's the problem also. Like, the people are not being in the sun. That's the problem too, right?
Yeah. And if they do go, they put the chemicals on them, right? The sunscreens and all that.
Oh yeah, that's like baking yourself, right? Like grilling yourself with those chems, right?
Yeah. Toxins, yeah.
And in the morning light, the morning sunlight and the evening sunlights are also very good tones, very relaxing tones. Light is a very awesome phenomena. We are humans. What is the meaning of humans, right? Hue is color.
Like biblically, it's very interesting too that day and night never touch. They're divided by morning and evening. I always thought that fascinated me.
Oh yeah, it's all about the polarity, right? The same way we have the electric as a male electric, and we have the female, the moon, the magnetic, right? This creation is very intelligent, right? The polarity is required, right? The hot and the cold, right? The beautiful and the right. It's many things.
Oh yeah, for sure. I can only imagine what it would be like if they just left everything alone and just seeing how it would all just work. It'd just be like a beautiful machine.
Oh yeah, it's encoded, right? Everything is encoded in this creation of the intelligent design. We can see the stamp in everything we see, right? Everything we touch. But this is also the thing. Once we realize that we are not material, there's the real salvation. That's the real salvation, right? Realizing that this is not the real reality. This physical, three-dimensional, materialistic stuff is not the real. What everybody wants to keep, which everybody wants to attach. You don't own nothing. We don't own nothing. We don't even own ourselves.
Nope.
Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, I'm just laughing because I just said that. I say that almost every podcast. Like, people want things but they can't take it with them. None of it. I don't care if you got a Bugatti. I just like to say Bugatti. But even if you had one, you can't take it with you. You can't take anything. You could be so wealthy when it comes to materialistic things, but you're not taking it with you, no matter what. So I don't get why people are so selfish and want everything for themselves. You can't take it with you anyway. You own nothing.
Absolutely. And suffering is in any life. You could be the most poor or the most billionaire. Suffering is for everybody in this
Yes.
three-dimensional materialistic reality, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, I always say that you can hit rock bottom. Everybody heard of people hitting rock bottom, but they never talk about hitting rock top. There's people, believe it or not, that have made it, got all this wealth, and there's still something missing. They're still not happy with the marriage or even themselves, but they could buy anything they wanted. What do you do then? There is nothing left materialistic that's going to make you happy. You got to find something else. I think that's where it goes to the spiritual. Get out of the physical.
Absolutely, bro. Good deeds, right?
Yes.
Kindness.
Yes. Positive energy.
Even though in a very smallest form, it resonates. It goes in the ether, right?
Yeah, just imagine growing up, really poor, working your way all the way up, get your status all the way up, boom, 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 and then you're still not happy. It's like it is one of those eye-opening things. Like, it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't come from that.
Absolutely, because there is looking for happiness in materialistic things, right?
Yes.
Where is it gonna end, right? So it's always good from a very early stages to realize what is happiness. It's important. The people don't know what they want. You ask a person their name, they will tell you. You ask the person how old are they and where they live. They will, without a hesitant, they will tell you. Ask them what they want. They don't have a freaking idea. If the people could say with the same speed what they want, they are on the right track. Because it's important to be focused on what you want. If you aren't, even opportunities are not opportunities. If you don't know what you want.
Yeah, we've lost touch with nature and the creation itself, I believe. And trying to figure out how it works, like what you're doing here, I think will help a lot of people get reconnected.
Oh yeah. Even one person vibrating on the right frequency neutralizes the negative these people are trying to put here on this earth. So just being in the right mind and focus is also doing something for the collective consciousness and for this earth.
Yeah, and like what you showed last week or a couple weeks ago with the temples, that showed you how much they knew the sun, moon, and stars, and even the shadows were important to show them the creation. They did not look down at it. Some people call it worshiping. They were just keeping time. They knew how important it was and how it was in sequence and to stay in sequence. That's all they were worried about, I believe.
Oh yeah, because they've flipped around the narrative. They want to tell us that the ancients didn't knew anything. These people were measuring and calculating stars and luminaries when these so-called scientists right now were rolling in the mud in the dark ages. there were civilizations who were doing astronomy and architectural engineering of a class that even today it's impossible, with maths and engineering and knowledge about the earth and the sky, right? And these people the new scientists want to call them that they are the ones who are at the scientific thinking at the highest point, right?
Yeah. Yeah, they give the authority to the white labs and the universities and everything else, and not the people that just were the elders that used to talk about all this stuff and passing it down. I guess you could almost call that gatekeeping, right? Because if you don't go to a university, most people won't even know any of this. Even though you can find it, right? You can go to the library yourself, but most people won't do that.
Oh yeah, and now there are many channels who is putting things out there for the people to not do the study and even think and explain it in the most simple words that the people can understand. But even like this, the people don't want to. People are running away from the truth. People prefer distractions
Yes.
than to try to understand and learn something, right?
Yeah, I wonder when they started saying that you can't teach an old dog new tricks. You know, how long has that been around? Because a lot of people think they're too old to learn something new, or they're used to the old way, so they don't want to learn anything else. Just keep going along with what they learned when they were 20 and 30. But most people should realize, I hope you're smarter at 40, 50, 60 than you were when you were 20. But they'll listen to the 20-year-old that they used to be and not the new person they can be. It's very interesting to me.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I think these are the ages when the people have seen things and connects more dot on a bigger level, right? If they want to, right? Or just go in distractions and just live life like as if like it's done, right? I care a shit about anything, right? So
Yeah, they
we'll
almost got
continue. Let's play this.
it. Okay.
Let's play this a bit.
Pieces of other elements. NASA images depict the sun as a fireball burning in space in a supposed process of nuclear fusion or hydrogen that turns into helium. However, current science only works with hypothetical theories and false conjectures to define the sun. The scientific description of the sun itself is contradictory. The possibility that the sun produces oxygen in its surface composition is totally unlikely. The sun would be composed of nickel, chromium, magnesium and iron, and these elements would be responsible for the true magnetic force of the sun. The temperature of the sun, according to official data, is 5,778 degrees K or 5,505 degrees Celsius. There is no way to produce a magnetic field with the elements nickel, chromium, iron and magnesium at high temperatures. Hydrogen and helium also do not produce magnetism. Nickel, iron, chromium and magnesium lose their magnetic properties when subjected to less than 1,000 degrees Celsius. Therefore, the sun, as defined in the books, would never produce a magnetic field that could attract other bodies in space. In this way, no planet would orbit the sun or be attracted to its magnetic force. The force of gravity is the
And this, right, also, right, the magnetic forces, right, it's provable in every sense, right? If the sun is being electric and electromagnetics, right, the function, but there is no place for gravity in there, in anywhere. The earth functions perfectly. with electric and electromagnetics.
Don't you like how they start talking about what it's made out of? Like, how do they have any idea how it's made or anything?
Exactly. It's pseudoscience.
It's so strange that we take that word for it. It doesn't make sense.
Oh yeah, the Globers are there ready to take it. They have already taken it, right? So
It's like the same thing with the core, right? We believe all the layers down to from the 3959, but they've only went down 7.6 miles. As a kid, I still remember those in books where they showed like that pie cut out of the globe and they show all the layers all the way to the core. And you think that, somehow they drilled down or something. And then when you start getting into this, you're like, they only went 7.6 miles. They scratched the surface. But they tell you they know. They know what Mars is made out of. None of it makes sense to me. They're just guessing, making it up.
absolutely. And then after, to find a missing plane like MH17 or all these planes, they still cannot find it. And they know what the hell is there in one planet 93 million miles away the sun. They also know what it's made of. They cannot find these planes even today, and the planes have to fly dead reckoning on Atlantics and Pacific.
Just imagine, like, how can you be some of these people in the higher ups, or these scientists, or the people tracking these planes and not understand that? Like, do they really not understand it, or they're just not allowed to talk about it because they don't want to lose their job? A lot of these people spend so much time, right, getting their degree and stuff. They're like pot committed to living that lie. You got to kind of just ignore it. Otherwise, you're going to lose your money, your career and stuff. So they just kind of just ignore it.
Oh yeah, just playing along, right?
Yes. Yeah, they play along to get along. It's just, it's got to be a horrible feeling. Like, especially if you have, like here in the U.S., they have student loans and debt and stuff. You could put yourself in debt trying to get a degree that you find out later is based on all lies. Then what do?
Oh yeah, no degree or diploma can make the water curve. This is what they are defending. That is the reason they just so go haywire and melt defending, especially those PhDs and the so-called professors. That's why they just get so triggered in a flat earth debate, because they're trying to defend their diploma, because all their life just shatters and go down the drain. Their 30 plus year of 20 years or 25 years of study going down the drain, right? This is what they cannot accept. This is what it's giving them hard time.
Just imagine how many of them probably just stay awake at night. I mean, they got to know the truth. I mean, there's no way they can fathom like the curvature. When it's just like, it doesn't take long. I mean, you can debunk any curvature really easy. So to be a PhD or some kind of mathematician or an engineer, I mean, you're just lying to yourself. I mean, it's so strange to me. They'll just keep going along with it.
Oh yeah, because they are for the agenda. Like, a few weeks back, I was doing this Bashar thing. This guy Bashar, who's supposed to say that he's channeling some alien, right? He was mentioning about flat Earth and that the Earth is around. Like, it goes against the agenda. That's the reason
Yeah.
they have to put it out there.
Yeah. Like we have one of my mods on our TikTok. He's an engineer, and he does long range pew or targets. And he knew the whole time. He said for a long time, because of the books that teach him how to do engineering, use flat Earth math. And anytime he did long distance hunting, or targets, he never used all their math, because he goes, if I did their math, it didn't work. I couldn't hit a target. But when I just did line of sight and did wind, he would hit it. So even he knew, but he cemented himself a few months ago once we were talking when I met him.
Oh yeah, there are people. I've heard few on even TikTok and even on YouTube, like the sniper thing and all that Coriolis, and it's good. It's good. Sometimes the people need to hear from these kind of people to maybe get it right, because they're so used to being that a professional says to you, right? Maybe then you want to believe.
Yeah,
That's why. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I said I find it fascinating that even him, right? He questioned it the whole time, but he still went along, not really talking out loud about it. See, because they'll be ridiculed, right? Is that what that's what you've been saying? They can't. They're so caught up in it that people would see them as maybe insane, or they'll lose their career over saying that.
Oh yeah.
Same force that attracts dust to a television screen, that is, it does not exert any force of magnitude. In order for the sun to have nuclear fusion on the surface and could cause combustion, it would need oxygen. Oxygen is produced in two ways, by photosynthesis and photolysis. This could not happen on the surface of the sun. There will be fire when combustion occurs, and for this to occur there must be a combination. Following elements: fuel, ignition temperature, and oxygen in atmospheric air. The combination of these elements in suitable proportions will produce a...
Exactly, and then they want to say the globers that the flat earth don't do science. They are the one who are away from science, right? You need different things happening for something to react, right? For this fire to happen. That's simple. But the globe wants to complicate things, right? Make shit up. Abstractions.
Process of release of heat and light energy. There is also no oxygen in the supposed space that can contribute to the combustion of the sun. Only electricity explains the magnetic force and the existence of the sun. According to Eric Dolar, the sun is not bigger than Earth, nor is it 150 million kilometers away. The sun would be slightly larger than the moon. It would be approximately 5,000 to 6,000 kilometers in diameter. And he believes that the sun is between 5,000 and 6,000 kilometers from Earth.
That's from Eric Dollard, studying from the things of Nikola Tesla. Right, 3,000 to 5,000. Some even say even the distance is supposed to be like that, but that's debatable. But
Dolar claims that magnetic induction produces light, heat, energy, electromagnetic frequencies, and radiation. That would be the best explanation to define the operation of the sun within the system. The sun has a strong electromagnetic field that captures energy frequencies from Earth and electrical space. This uptake is defined in a continuous process of magnetic induction. Simply put, The sun captures energy from Earth and other dimensions in space and converts it into light, frequencies, radiation, and heat.
So there's so many things happening at the same time that the sun is doing. Right? That's why it's called the divine light.
Hey, did you see that part of that video that just went where it had the sun, and I think there was a lake or something below it, and as the sun went away from us, in the screen, the sun, that was like it was projecting forward, and then it kind of catches up to itself, like it comes towards us. So that showed that the light was shining the other way as well. It's really interesting. I've never seen that before.
In this clip?
If you backed up like where it was the
Okay.
orange sun. Okay, keep going. Yeah, right there. Watch that sunburn right there. I think it's that
The
one.
sun within the system.
See how it
The
starts to
sun
come
has a
towards
strong
itself?
electric.
Very interesting.
Oh yeah, there was like a light below too, like was moving.
Yeah, but it was coming towards it. So like it's almost like it showed that it was in front, and then it came to alignment again. I want to see that on a lake if it does that. We live in the Great Lakes, so I might have to go check that out this summer. Very interested in that.
Larger than the moon. It would be approximately 5,000 to 6,000 kilometers in diameter. And he believes that the sun is between 5,000 and 6,000 kilometers from Earth. Dolar claims that magnetic induction produces light, heat, energy, electromagnetic frequencies, and radiation. That would be the best explanation to define the operation of the sun within the system. The sun has a strong electromagnetic field that captures energy frequency.
So in those 4 words, he explained what the sun is. Like electromagnetic radiation, right? If understanding the sun helps us understand a lot. Right? Playing the elements of the earth and the combination of that sun, creating those phenomena, including the light. The sun emits different kind of radiations, right? Also, the moon has something to do with that. It's not a reflection, but it's some kind of a radiation that it charges itself and illuminates, auto-illuminates in the night. It's required, but it has nothing to do with the reflection of the sun. How the globe charts say.
Yeah, I don't know how they can explain that. Like a full moon, you can really feel that it's a cool light. We several of us have done experiments. I don't know if you have. You probably have, where it's cooler in the direct
The
moonlight
shade, yeah.
than it is to the shade, and they can't explain that. It's not a reflection.
Oh yeah, there are many phenomena, like there are many kind of luminescence, right? The same way, even with the stars, we have the semi-luminescence, right? We all know about the star in a jar, like the sound creating light, right? So that's semi-luminescence, right? Then you have fluoroluminescence, you have bioluminescence, right? We see those fireflies. We see those glowing seaweeds. We see those mushrooms. We see those worms in the caves, right? We see those flashy colors that illuminates after it reflects the UV light colors, right? So these are all different kind of luminescence in the nature. So there is something very similar phenomena going on with the moon in relation to the sun. The same way it's charging those, you have even some kind of synthetic paints that you paint, and during the sun it charges and in the night it glows. right?
Yeah.
Something very similar phenomena is happening there.
Hey, will that work in the moonlight? I don't think it will. Can you charge one of those in the moonlight? Now I want to try that.
I know that the ones you have, that the sun, it takes the energy from the sun, and in the night it glows. Oh yeah, there are many other things in the nature, right, that glows. That's the beauty of nature, right? So there's so many luminescence is happening. Sound is also very important. Sound is also playing a phenomena in all this, is in this electric that's going on, and electromagnetic.
From Earth and electrical space. This uptake is defined in a continuous process of magnetic induction. Simply put, the sun captures energy from Earth and other dimensions in space and converts it into light, frequencies, radiation, and heat. Its buoyancy and confinement within the system are due to the strong magnetic field of the Earth and electromagnetism in the dome. Therefore,
in 3 words, but it's said like the electromagnetic energy of the earth is stronger than the electromagnetic energy of the sun. That is the reason the sun goes around the earth. That is the reason it's called geocentric. That is the reason we have a pole star. That is the reason we have a Polaris. That is the reason it looks like the sky is pinned on the pole star and everything moves around it.
Did he say the dome?
Also, yes.
I think he said the dome.
Yeah. He said the earth and the dome.
Yeah.
Right? So the earth, we have the dome, and we have the luminaries in the middle, in all those different layers. Yep. Oh yeah, other dimensions maybe we don't understand, because the sun we are seeing is not maybe the only sun. Maybe it has an eternal source that is taking that divine light and energy, right? Or it has one of the highest frequency in the luminaries. That's the reason, right? We measure time because of the sun. The sun is the ruler. With the ruler we measure time. The sun is the ruler and the earth is the distance. We are measuring the distance. That is the reason we have 24 hours, 1,000 miles per hour, right? Proving that the earth is stationary and the sun is moving, right? Measuring with the ruler and pointing those longitudes and latitudes. Measuring its track. Putting markers and references in magnitude that the people cannot understand, and precision. That's understanding where you live. Not abstract shit, pseudoscience equations.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, these people. Yeah, go ahead. They love the equations. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like you'll say something in reality, and they'll say, "Well, no, it works like this. I got an equation. I'll show you."
Oh yeah, or I will scribble some drawings on the board and I'm done. Or I'm going to show you some cartoon image from Google, and my research is done.
Yes.
The magnetic field of the Earth is much larger and more intense than the magnetic field of the Sun and the Moon. The sky is loaded with electrical particles and filaments that
That image of everything is like pinned to the center. That also it shows in the Vedic cosmology that all the luminaries are attached with an invisible string to the pole star, to the creator, to the throne of God. The importance is shown there, right? So the invisible string is the magnetic fields, right? The vortex, the aurora borealis that comes from that north pole, from the throne, where everything connects to there is attached to. That's geocentric. That's the center of the earth, the center of creation.
Produce electromagnetic fields. The sun picks up all this electrical and frequency charge that comes from the earth, the sky, and the dome. To maintain the balance of this system, the sun acts as a gigantic transformer that converts all this captured energy into light, frequencies, heat and radiation.
Right? It's a whole dynamic system that works together. That the earth being a part of it. Not 93 million miles away. No, it's part of the earth system. It's not part of the space. It was created for us. That's the reason when it's there at the zenith, it's like it's almost being one with Christ.
Therefore, the sun and also the moon provide an extraordinary harmony that maintains everything. Moon, there would be no life on Earth. Electromagnetic waves radiate high and low frequencies. The sun would be the result of a vibratory frequency radiated from the Earth. Nikola Tesla believed that there was a specific frequency with which the Earth is struck like with a hammer. Tesla believed that the surface of the Earth vibrated with the frequency of electricity that was generated from electromagnetic processes, the Earth being a large Tesla coil.
Yeah, that's why his technologies were so perfect. That's the reason the Rockefeller and Rothschild and the fossil fuel people didn't wanted this shit to happen. They wanted to put meters, right? If they cannot charge us and bill us, it's not for us. Right? Free energy technology was already done and researched and knew already before.
You know, another spin on that too is this energy is endless. That's why they made the fossil fuels and said they were rare. Because then if there's a chance it can run out, they could charge more for it being rare, right? Or that it could run out. It's kind of like what they do with diamonds. Like diamonds aren't even as rare as people think. There's a couple companies that own like 99.9% of the diamonds, and they just release them slowly. So they seem like they're rare, but they're really not. I mean, that's kind of like what they were doing here as well. You know, it makes something sound like it's scarce. Like the fossil fuel thing is not even real. They don't know where the oil comes from. I think you know that, right? Like they just made it up.
Oh yeah, the resources like regenerates the nature, right? Even with this supposed oil or petrol, right? Then they want us to say like, yeah, for sure. That is the reason I was saying that the global, the reason we don't evolve in reality, because these people can keep everything and keep us in this, you know.
Yeah, working. Yeah.
Yeah, in the C grade, fossil fuel, contaminated, you know, synthesized robots, like biological robots, but worse than the robots because.
Yeah, very interesting.
They even are called, it's a new genus in humans, something cyborgenesis already. The people who had taken the juice have a name. It's not Homo sapiens, it's something cyborg genesis, because they are not human anywhere. There's already been a split.
Wow. I'm gonna look into that now.
This frequency is very intense in Antarctica, where sonoluminescence phenomena occur daily. Antarctica would be the negative pole of the Earth's battery, where all the extra energy is released. The Sun would be the result of this oscillating energy of very high frequencies.
This is the thing, right? A ring magnet is very easy to conceptualize, right? What is happening here with the luminaries, right? The ring magnet, you have the hole in the middle, and the inner circle could be one tropic and the outer circle could be one tropic, for an example, right? And things float between those lines. The same thing is happening with these luminaries and the sound and the gases and the electric and the electromagnetics. And the electromagnetic energies, different ones, at different angles, creating even distortions, the so-called eclipses, because of the interaction of the electric and the electromagnetics creating distortions, right? Maybe the central vortex is also playing a part, creating distortions at a particular day or at an angle or a location.
Yeah, then we got the magnetic stone, right? The lodestone, Rupus Negra, Mount Meru.
Oh yeah,
Very interesting stuff.
that's the way we can navigate, right?
Yes.
Apart from the celestial navigation, that's how we navigate, because we have that central pole. Even our devices won't work. Even the GPS won't work if the Earth was a globe.
That's right.
The ball lightning phenomenon was reproduced in the laboratory by Nikola Tesla in 1902. Other scientists have tried to reproduce this electrical phenomenon without success. This electrical phenomenon is observed after large electrical storms, where too much energy is released into the air or atmosphere. A ball of lightning floats in space and mysteriously disappears while losing frequency.
Yo, what's up? Aloha from Florida, Mr. Keith. How are you?
Hey, Vikka. Good to see you, bro. Aloha. How you doing there, Flat Out Truth?
How you
Aloha
doing?
to you.
Hey, how you doing?
Where have you been, Keith? How you doing, brother?
Doing well overall. I can't complain. Staying real busy.
Nice. That's good. That's good.
So the show was on the Electric Sun tonight. I was wondering, did you guys talk at all about Don Scott or Eric Dollard?
Oh yeah. I don't know if I hear you a little bit low, or are you too far away from your mic, or I don't know if.
How's that? Is that better?
Oh yeah, way
Yeah.
better.
Okay,
Yeah.
I just got off of Bluetooth. Yeah, did you guys talk at all about Don Scott or Eric Dollard?
Oh yeah. We're speaking about Eric Dollard and Nikola Tesla and all this stuff. Yeah. Go ahead if you want to add something. Go ahead. Oh, maybe he have bad connection. Oh, alrighty.
Yeah, he might jump back.
This phenomenon may be related to the existence of our electric sun that shines in the sky. Gases and electrical energy make up plasma. The Tesla ball uses the same base to function and release beams of energy within it.
Alrighty. Are you there?
Yeah, is that better? You were breaking up real bad too. I think maybe it was my connection here.
Yeah, you sound good now. It's probably because when you switch from Bluetooth, it probably messed something up.
Yeah, probably. So,
You're good now.
okay, cool. Yeah, I just want to jump for a few minutes and say, what I don't know what y'all talked about Eric Dollard, but he studied the sun exclusively, came up with the solar maximums and the solar minimums for radio, and his observations and study of the sun had him put forth his hypothesis that the sun is electrical in nature, absolutely not powered by thermonuclear fusion. And then there's a whole other group of people, but Don Scott was one of the main spokesmen. He was a professor of electrical engineering for 30 years. He also put forth his hypothesis that the sun is electrical in nature and absolutely not powered by thermonuclear fusion. So you got these two globe-loving scientists putting forth a hypothesis that totally, absolutely contradicts what we are told about the heliocentric theory or belief system. So I've brought this up to a few Globers a few times over the last several years, and they just want to dismiss it as, oh, well, that's just fringe, that's pseudoscience, nobody really believes that. Oh, but these are electrical engineers that have studied the sun exclusively for years, so much so that they felt compelled to put forth a hypothesis that the sun is electrical in nature. So anybody who hasn't seen the comments that Eric Dollard has done on YouTube about the sun, or there's a little 30-minute presentation by Don Scott called The Electric Sun on YouTube, I'd highly recommend just listening to what they have observed and learned about the sun over the years and how it contradicts what we are told that the sun is. I personally think it's really kind of stupid, even foolish, to assume that any of us really know what the sun is. For me personally, ultimately, the sun, the moon, all of the luminaries are ultimately a mystery. What's not a mystery is what we learn in the Antikythera mechanism is the motion of them. How they move, the patterns that they move in, that's pretty well known, well documented. But what actually powers them, I think we still have a lot to learn. We don't really know. So anyway, Vika, I'm sure it's a great show again tonight. The electric sun is something that's kind of near and dear to my heart because I'm trying to do more homeschool projects with my kids on electricity and magnetism and growing food. Just things that I was never taught about any of that coming up in the government indoctrination camps. But I think the more children that are taught about electricity and magnetism and how that affects our physical bodies and how that affects the foods that we can grow, I think the better off all of us will be. So yeah, I've asked this question of the Globers so many times. Do you think it would be better for humanity if, for the last 150 years, children were taught truth about electricity and truth about magnetism instead of the gravity theories and the spinning rocks and outer space theories? And some of them are actually stupid enough to say, no, we wouldn't be any better off. Okay, really? Yeah, yeah. All right, I know you're a globe zealot, but you really don't think that humanity would be better off if for the last 150 years, every child that went to school learned about electricity and magnetism instead of gravity and spinning balls in space? And some of them will be honest, be like, yeah, we'd probably be better off. I think we would be a lot better off. And I guess thank God that there's more and more of us now learning about these things. And I think a lot of it starts with the sun, the primary luminary.
Oh yeah, absolutely, brother. This is the thing, I'm from very long time with this electric sun, right? It's
Yeah.
not the first time with this. And this video of mine was on Facebook, had more than 2 million views, this video. And it was taken down,
Wow.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the electric sun, right? And this is the thing, these people, as you say, Keith, right? These people knew that the sun is cold. They knew very well. That is the reason, right? When we also, as you speak about the technology and what would have happened if they were given the gears much before than the 1400, right? A basic
Right.
gear. So many things cannot function without a gear.
Yeah, Vika, I think it was you that you were the first one that ever told me years ago now when I was first on the podcast with you. I'd say going back 3 years anyway, you're like, no, the light and the heat is local. It's local. I'm like, the light and the heat is local. But, the more I look into that, yeah, the more that's exactly true. The closer we get away from the surface of the earth, the colder and colder it gets.
Yeah.
And that was one of Don Scott's observations of the sun, too, is that allegedly the solar winds increase after they leave the surface of the sun. Well, if the power is coming from the center of the sun, how does something increase once it leaves the sun? It should slow down. But what they observe with the solar winds is an increase in speed, not a decrease. So lots of what we see in reality doesn't work with what we're told to believe about the sun.
100%. And I agree with you totally about what these luminaries are and how they work, what they're made of. We really won't know. And we have the observations we can go by, and that they're always precisely in a certain circuit or sequence over the years. But other than that, yeah, we don't really know what they are. And when people say that we wouldn't know better about knowing electricity and magnetism and all that instead of gravity, yeah, I don't care what side. I don't care if you're a globie or some flat earther that doesn't think it matters, but that doesn't make sense to me. Of course, knowledge is power.
Oh yeah, brother, absolutely. It's like electric. We are electric too.
Yes.
Every step we take, we are making electricity.
Yeah,
right?
look at
Once the electricity is gone, we are gone.
Oh yeah. And they're selling all those grounding things, grounding pads, grounding sheets, grounding everything. You could just walk outside barefoot. I mean, not in Michigan right now. Well, I'm in Michigan, so it's cold. Maybe Aloha could be right now on the beach, but we can't be doing that.
Yeah, I'm barefoot outside right now as we speak. So.
My wife's gonna be like, "Dang it!"
And on the beaches, it's another thing, right? It's not only that grounding you are getting, and you're getting all those negative ions, which are really good for us, right? The positive ions are not good for us. Like in the concrete jungle, in the cities, it's full of positive ions. When we are in nature, where we are on the beach, we are taking those particles, those charged particles, those charged air, clean, right? These all affect to us, right? It's like almost charging. Walking on a beach is like almost charging your electric circuit, right? That's why I'm also a guy who always have loved and lived near a beach. That's the reason. So let's play this.
The combination of gases and electrical energy or plasma is the same that explains the constitution of the electric sun. The sun transforms electrical energy into electromagnetic waves. Electromagnetic waves produce frequencies that make molecules, particles, and other substances vibrate.
Guys, this is really important, right? If you understand this piece, you will understand what the sun is. I'll go back a little bit, but that piece is really important.
Air or atmosphere. A ball of lightning floats in space and mysteriously disappears while losing frequency. This phenomenon may be related to the existence of our electric sun that shines in the sky. Gases and electrical energy make up plasma. The Tesla ball uses the same base to function and release beams of energy within it. The combination of gases and electrical energy or plasma is the same that explains the constitution of the electric sun. The sun transforms electrical energy into electromagnetic waves. Electromagnetic waves produce frequencies that make molecules, particles, and other substances vibrate intensely. This vibration produces heat. With this premise, we can say that the Sun has a cold surface, because the heat will radiate from the electromagnetic frequencies.
You guys get it? Right? The Sun is creating electromagnetic frequencies which interact with the atmosphere, which have all the molecules and particles, which starts to vibrate and thus creating heat.
Yeah. Also, going back to Eric Dollard and Don Scott, both of them came away with the conclusion that the sun is hollow inside, that there's nothing going on inside of the sun, but all the activity is just on the surface of the sun. So that's interesting too, just thinking about it as electromagnetic energy, not as a burning ball of gas.
Oh yeah, in the beginning we mentioned here, right? It's empty. It's like a transformer. It's it's like black, like dark.
By generating very high frequencies, the Sun causes molecules, particles, and other substances in the atmosphere to vibrate, and thus heat is radiated to Earth.
And that because of that phenomena and the heat and the change of the temperatures, all the different elements start looking for equilibrium. That's what is happening, right? Looking for balance. That's the reason we're having air currents. That's the reason we are having the sea currents. The movement, the sun brings in the movement. Not because of gravity, things are going up and down. The things are going up and down because of these differences of pressures looking for equilibrium. And the pressures are changing because of the heat, because of the sun, because of those frequencies.
Yeah, it's temperature. Temperature affects those gases. Makes movement.
Absolutely. That is in the most simplest form of understanding of sun, light, and heat being local, of what the sun, the electric sun, is doing.
It's funny how simple it really is, but how like they try to make it so complex, right? It's yeah, I don't know. You can keep playing.
Oh yeah, brother, it's true. It's true. They want to complicate and give the excuse that sun is doing this and sun is doing that. It's showing how local it is and how important it is in the system to work. And the importance of being it so close that it's affecting locally at different places, at different spots.
And we already know that the more complex they make any topic, it makes other people go to other people to get the answers. It could be your taxes, it could be law, right? And that's what they do. So if they make this more complex, nobody's going to try to study how the sun is really working, or the luminaries themselves, the moon, etc. They make it so complex that you have to believe somebody else. That's how complex they try to make things.
Yeah, I say to the Globers all the time, truth is simple, lies are complicated. That's why Flat Earth is winning. It is strong, simple truths, and you have a bunch of complicated lies that are weak based on, the Earth being a globe. And one of the things I play with them all the time is like, I'll ask them, does it look to you like the sun is moving through the sky? And someone will be honest and say, yeah, that's what it looks like to me. Others will be like, no, I'm not going to answer that. Because Occam's razor slices the government scriptures for the blue ball religion to pieces. And Occam's razor says that the simplest answer tends to be the one that is true. And if you ask the question, why does it look like the sun is small and local? Why does it look like the sun is moving through the sky? Occam's razor says because the sun is small and local and it is moving through the sky. But for the globers, they have to do serious mental gymnastics and say they have to convince themselves that they're not seeing what they're seeing, but they're actually living on a spinning wet rock in outer space that's rotating, revolving, tilting, and wobbling, and spiral vortexing. So the sun isn't really moving through the sky. I'm on a spinning wet rock that's moving 4 different directions at 4 different speeds all at the same time. That's what's really happening. That is so complicated and outright foolish, in my opinion. It's just downright silly, really. But just versus trusting your own eyes, trusting your own senses that we have a small local electric sun.
Yeah, and you're not feeling any of those motions.
Oh yeah, you missed the last week podcast, Keith. It's like almost it proves that we are not moving, right? The temples and the sun, right, Paulino? If you can have listen on a audio, it's crazy how the ancients have really showed that we are stationary and the luminaries are moving. There is no other way out for the globers, like real structures, like going in details about how the sun and those structures work. It's crazy.
Yeah, those
The
sun
sun
temples
temples.
are they're
Yeah.
amazing. I'm gonna have to go back and watch that podcast because I use the subject of archaeoastronomy in this flat Earth conversation all the time. That everyone in the ancient past knew that the Earth was an intelligently designed, enclosed system, and they knew that the sun, moon, and all the luminaries were moving over us like a divine clock. And they built these amazing, even impossible structures literally everywhere that are still extremely accurate today in 2026. And the sun temples are just a perfect example of that. So I'm gonna have to go back and listen to that podcast from last week. But the entire subject of archaeoastronomy has been fascinating to me for the last couple years. After we did the Antikythera mechanism, for me that was kind of the next step, was looking into this architecture that's everywhere, and it's not just one building here and there. I mean, it can be like the entire city of St. Petersburg, the entire city of Washington D.C., the entire Vatican. All of it is set up almost as a sun temple, where it knew the motion of the sun, like a divine clock.
Yeah, we were
Oh
actually
yeah,
talking.
absolutely, brother.
Yeah, because I was
Go
telling
ahead,
him,
Paulino.
yeah, just imagine building the temple. You're the guy that designs it or helps design it. You start building this, and you're going through outer space, right? Blah blah blah, and then you're like, oh, now it's off. Now we got to move it. How mad would you be? You're building this thing to align with the sun, but now it took so long to build it, you have to move it. You know, we all know that never happened. They'd be on wheels. There's the only way you could do it. You'd have to have it to be able to be moved. If we're flying through outer space and everything was moving X, Y, Z, but we know we're stationary. That's why they could build them, put so much time and effort. Like the ones from India, those temples are like they put so much time in there. They knew that sucker wasn't moving anywhere.
Oh yeah, absolutely, and including the pyramids, right? Like seeing that particular star from that shaft every year, right? The pyramid didn't move. Those temples didn't move, right? The 24 wheels representing the 24 hours, right? As sundials, right? As represented as sun as a chariot, right? There's so much of details, like 365 elephants, right? The 28 days month, right? It's everything right there. The shadow, the angles, the time of the year. Like they were really measuring the Gobekli Tepe, the Stonehenge, right? The huge sundials. As it's crazy. It destroys the globe.
This is how a microwave oven works. Electrical Engineering Dr. Don Scott, along with Michael Claridge PhD in
So you were mentioning about Don Scott. Here is Aloha. Donald E. Scott.
Electrical Engineering and Physics, led the Sapphire project that studies the electrical sun. Both claim that the sun is not a ball of hydrogen fused in space and that heat is not released by the sun, but is generated by electromagnetic waves that hit the mesosphere, the stratosphere and finally the troposphere. The engineer and satellite telecommunications expert Jose Alfonso Hernando Abajon, it also states that the sun is cold and that heat is generated by electromagnetic waves that vibrate in the atmosphere. One proof that the sun is cold and does not radiate heat is that the closer we get into the atmosphere and we get closer to the sun, the colder it gets. Airplanes at 10,000 feet register temperatures of -5 degrees Celsius outside. If the sun were hot, the water would not freeze at a height of 30 kilometers. Experiments with weather balloons show that transported water containers at high altitudes, they return to Earth completely frozen. Above 10,000 feet, the temperature drops drastically, so if the sun radiated heat, we would grill inside airplanes. The sky is cold like the sun.
Right? It's cold. Yeah, this is just simple things like this. It's hard for the Globers to get it. Right? They even have the excuse that they don't go to Antarctica. There are no flights over Antarctica because of the cold. And they have all their bullshit working in space.
Yeah, you might have mentioned this
Right?
earlier too, Vika, but it's like the difference from of the temperature from the equator to the alleged poles is only like 0.0004% difference in distance. But at the equator, you can literally fry and die during the summer, and at the poles, you can literally freeze to death. So less than 0.0004% difference in distance for this huge heat and light to travel 93 million miles through space, then just an extra 4,000 miles, and you either fry and die or you freeze to death. No, I think I'll stick with a small local electric sun, not a big burning ball of gas.
Absolutely, bro. Because this is what I was mentioning before, right? Where I am in southern Spain, right? Right now it's winter, right? It's one of the most crazy winter. Like, where I am, it's not so cold and the winter is not so much humidity. But if I go a few hundred kilometers south, I'm in Sahara Desert. How the hell is happening?
I like to tell people it's like standing around a campfire. If you're hot at 10 feet, or it doesn't matter which side you're on, you're gonna be hot. This is, I mean, like if it was the sun was so huge, but it's not that way. It's local, like we're saying, and that observations and like what you guys are talking about proves it.
Oh yeah, as we mentioned also even the last time, right? The Arctic and the Antarctic and everything in the middle, the tropics, the equator, everything, life is there. The sun is there. The sun is always there at the equator.
Vika, I appreciate you letting me
Always.
hang out a little bit, bro. I've got to get to dinner with the family. Michael, good to see you. I'll see you around on TikTok, bro.
All right, see you, man. Be
Yep, y'all
well, man.
have a good rest of the show.
Alrighty.
Aloha.
See ya, Keith.
I like him. He's got that vibe of being in the tropics. He's so mellow.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Aloha has been here from a very long time before on the panel. You know that he's there even on the mechanical ram.
Oh yeah, I seen him on there. I like it because when he does his TikTok jumps, he doesn't stay on anywhere long. He's like, I'll be here for a couple minutes, and then he jumps. So it's pretty cool.
Oh yeah, before we used to have before Keith was a regular here. We used to go on for hours.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. But it's good. It's good. Yeah.
Yeah, you notice his picture, right? Was all flat all the way around. Yeah, I know you were watching it when you were showing this video, and it shows it going all the way around. It's flat.
Oh yeah. So this is the thing. It's we bring this back so that the people can have a better understanding, right? We try to put it in a more simple way that the people can get it and use it as an ammunition for when they are against, or not only against Globert, but even to other co-flat earthers. who
Yeah, like
wants to understand what this realm is and how these luminaries and especially the sun playing a part, right? Yeah, go ahead.
oh yeah, and then like all the liquids they put up in there, it freezes. How's that? They're closer to the sun. That doesn't make sense.
Exactly. And when they say that all their gadgets is passing through all this heat and cold and like it's just
Yeah,
endless supply of BS, right?
it really is. Like even going up a mountain, the higher you went, you would think that it would be hotter. There wouldn't be snow caps.
Oh yeah, and there's no oxygen and it's freaking freezing. It's like
Yeah, yeah.
The sun is a great source of energy and its surface is not as hot as official science indicates. The electromagnetic waves that produce light, heat and radiation are generated from an electrical source and continuous electrical processes. Electricity is the only source that could define the entire existence of
you see those beautiful aurora borealis. You see that it's a creation, right? The light coming from the source, from the vortex, right? Showing its majesty and its divinity, right? The aurora borealis. How can the globers be in that indoctrination that we are an accident, right?
Yeah, I don't know. It's something they just want to believe in. I mean, their life is built on lies, so they have to like believe it and follow it. It's like starting over.
Oh yeah, because they want a spiritual explanation. There is how it's created. You want a freaking scientific explanation? There is how these phenomena is happening, right? How the sun being electric and the electromagnetic, with the earth, right? With the gases, and when the sun comes, the light show, right? The electric universe, the light. We are attracted to light. We get mesmerized because the creators have created this magical electric show, biologic, holographic sound illumination, if you want to call it. Yep.
Hey, have you seen like here in the States that they're seeing something that they're saying is this? I don't believe it's real, but you can see it in Texas sometimes. Like for the last year or so. Did you hear about that here in the States?
Oh yeah, even here in Europe, yeah, it was supposed to be the artificial harp. That's what they're saying.
Yeah. What do you think? I don't think it's natural.
Oh yeah, it didn't look natural.
Yeah, it didn't to me neither.
Yeah. So at the center of the earth, those electrons, as I mentioned before, as the magnet, a ring magnet functions, right? So the accumulation of energy at a central point, those electrons getting together, creating this phenomena we call the aurora borealis, if the people want to know the scientific way of what is happening, and showing that center of the throne, the center of creation, the vortex.
the sun and the universe. The visible spectrum, or simply visible light, is only a small part of the entire spectrum of possible electromagnetic radiation.
Exactly. These are the spectrum we can see. There are also the sound works in the same way. There are things we cannot hear. So there are shades of the light of spectrum that we cannot see. But it's possible to see also if you can access that part of the brain.
Ranging from radio waves to gamma rays. Sun sunspots are electromagnetic vortices in their natural flow of energy. The sun has a powerful electromagnetic.
Do you guys get it? What could be the sunspots? Distortion in those electromagnetic energies and frequencies could be the sunspot. The distortion created on the light by electromagnetic. So that sunspot could be a very similar phenomena to an eclipse, but a move in eclipse, a moving dot, a huge dot. Could be, I'm not saying it is. If the people had doubt, what could be the sunspot? Because there are even people saying that it could be the stars behind the sun, right? So I don't know.
Yeah,
I just go ahead.
yeah, it's there for a purpose. We don't know it yet what it is.
Exactly. And what it could be is this could be possibility, right? The distortion of those frequencies observed from a particular location, right?
Magnetic force that works interactively with the dome Earth sky system. The heat produced by the electromagnetic waves of the sun heats the water of the sea and rivers, heats and expands the air, produces breezes, winds and hurricanes. Its heat evaporates the water. The vapor, which is lighter, concentrates in the atmosphere, forming the clouds that float in the skies. Therefore, the sun plays a fundamental role in the climatic effects of the Earth and systematically influences the cycles of rain, winds and...
Do you see how important it is in everything it's happening? The whole system is working, right? Even though it's metaphysical, it still has a function.
Yeah, and it shows you how powerful it is, because even with them manipulating stuff and trying to mess with it, it still tries to correct, and it still works.
Oh yeah.
storms. The sun causes magnetic paths or fluxes as it travels on Earth, where hurricanes, tidal waves and earthquakes originate.
Like on its path, it can create magnetic flux. There could be magnetic flux between the Earth's electromagnetic energy and the sun's electromagnetic energy. And those flux could create earthquakes. Just because it's there on a particular path, on a particular place. If the things are right, it can, right?
Yeah, and the more they mess with the weather, it's disrupting this, and this is what could make things worse. Because nature's trying to self-correct, and they keep messing with it.
Oh yeah. That's why they want to play God.
They're not good at it. They're just not.
Oh yeah.
This is because water is naturally diamagnetic, that is, water repels a magnetic field when faced with this force.
That's also very important to understand the water, the salt water being diamagnetic. It means that it reacts to electromagnetic energies. Right? That is the reason, could be also one of the other reasons connecting with the tides. Right? It's all interplaying together.
Yeah, for sure.
That is also reason why only the seas have tides and not lakes. And there could be also the reason that some places the tides are not very high or very low, and it's neutral. It's all because of those different spots on the earth and those electromagnetic energy and frequencies interacting with each other.
Now that'd be fun to track, to map that out.
Oh yeah.
This water repellent effect explains the tides in Earth's oceans. The sun implies a positive electromagnetic energy that causes low tide, and the moon implies a negative electromagnetic energy that causes high tide.
Like it's both playing part, right? It's not because of gravity. It's so simple to understand. It's the sun and the moon and the electromagnetic energies of the earth itself playing a part. Nothing to do with gravity.
People really love that gravity. And it does so many different things. And there's like 4 forms of gravity, right? Because they have to use it 4 different ways to explain their stuff. It doesn't make sense. None of it. It's all made up. I don't see how they can't see that it's made up.
Oh yeah, people, you have to be out of your mind to believe that, right? That gravity is doing everything. Like it's just that when they don't have any explanation, gravity, right? Everything.
Yeah.
Holy sh-
There was a guy on one of the lives. I think it was yesterday. I think it's on Fred's, and he was going on, and they all explained to him about how gas pressure works. You have to be in a container, and the guy's agreeing the whole time. Yes, yes, container. Yes, yes. A wheel, high pressure. When you put air in it, it's contained by the tire, right? And he's like, yep, yep. And then he starts going, well, how's the Earth work? He says gravity. The guy wouldn't. And then he even showed him the gas laws where there's no gravity in any of the equations for gas, the gas laws. So, but the guy still said gravity. They won't give it up. They will not give up gravity.
Oh yeah, the Big Brother gave to them, and they love it. Like it's their way out. It's their magic juice. Gravity, right?
Sea salt increases the ability of water to produce electricity. The sun's interaction with seawater acts as a great power plant.
You see the way the battery works, right? Like the earth is a system, right? Even the people take energy and electricity from the sun, from the wind, from the earth also generating. There are people who take energy, know how to take energy from the earth, electrical energy.
Yeah, in some of the states here, if you have moving water like a river, you have to get permission to make some kind of hydro. You can't just do it. You have to
Oh
fill
yeah.
out forms. So like they're trying to get it so you can't collect energy from nature.
Oh yeah, like hydro generator and everything, like these things, right? Oh yeah, and also about as a battery, and be human too. So all these things, Nikola Tesla understood really well. That is the reason he could make all these kind of technologies, and he had many other things, right? That is the reason also, like Einstein was so screwed. So many patents were robbed from Nikola Tesla. Some he just gave away. I don't know from where he got it. Maybe he got it from somewhere else, but he was the man who was trying to put it in functioning method. It could be old world technology that he got grabbed on and he started doing things, right? Because as we said, nothing is new under the sun. So I'm not just saying that it has to be everything coming from Nikola Tesla. Maybe for this timeline at that age and in that epoch, he was the guy who had that brain to understand and put it together. These technologies, as I mentioned before, without the electric motor, there is no computer age or machine age, right?
Yeah, because like a lot of these elites that do stuff, they say that their stuff is downloaded, right? They meditate and they get something downloaded. And like Steve Jobs, you got Zuckerberg, you have Elon Musk. These are all people that say that they've did a lot of their stuff by channeling and things like that. For all we know, that's what happened with Tesla. He got downloaded some of this from whom, whenever, right? And he was the one that's supposed to spark all this interest. Like you said, it's old technology.
Oh yeah, like Leonardo da Vinci,
Yes.
right? He also had some alien connection. Alien means like, supernatural connection. Supernatural doesn't mean only alien, guys, right? As
Yes.
you said, there are people who have got Nobel Prize because of inventing something, because they were on LSD, for example.
Yes.
They found out something. I don't remember the exact guy's name, but he got that answer on LSD, right? So, yeah, could be different ways of exchanging the information, right?
Yeah, like I mean, there's so many things that we've known as sci-fi way back in the day that they call science now, black holes and all that. Like they were doing channeling even then to come up with Star Trek and all these other books. Like they would download the information and it became a sci-fi, and then it became reality, right? Or what they call us reality with like black holes and all these things. This was just all channeled. A lot of it's channeled work for deception.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely, bro. So this is the thing. The sun is not supposed to be the center.
Yeah, and it's clearly not like even what Aloha was saying. You can see that the sun's the one moving. We don't feel movement. It's moving away, and and it's apparently going into the distance. But we're not moving. We don't feel anything. All those motions that they tell us, the spinning that we're spinning going around the sun, going through outer space at 1.3 like million miles an hour. We feel none of that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. These people, they just wanna tell the people to look away. Unprovable shit, right? Undefinable, right? Confusing people. That is the reason many people don't want to look at it. Do you think even freaking Einstein understand what the shit he says? I don't think so. And nobody's interested, even Glovers, to really define what the hell it means, bending of space and time and all that shit, right? They use those fancy words, but they can't define any of it. Because it's all hocus pocus, made up shit.
Yeah, and if you say it with enough confidence, right, they believe you. I mean, like I was a comic book artist, right, and I'm gonna release a comic book at some other time down the road. But when I would be at a comic book convention, I would pitch my story because I have my own universe I made up. Kind of like the Marvel universe, but I had my own universe. I would pitch it, and I would have people come up to me later and ask me if it was real. That freaked me out, and I'm like, no, it's not real. I made it up. I mean. But if you say it convincingly and they feel you have no loopholes, like you have the answers, they'll believe you. Even when I know I made it up. I don't know. That's how people get. They want hope of something different for some reason. Maybe they're not happy with their own life or this world. So they're hoping for something different. But they can make the change if they get into the reality and promote the truth.
Absolutely, brother. That is the reason it's important, as I was mentioning earlier, about knowing where you are going or focusing and in what somebody wants, to have clear picture and understanding of what this place could be, and not just be in a fantasy sci-fi world, because in the end that is going to be the outcome: chaotic, spinning and wobbling through life, for sure. What's outside is inside. What we think is what we are, right? If we think we are a chaos, if we think we are a piece of dust in this infinite crap, that's what you are, right?
Yeah, and if people really knew that this is all they get, maybe they would treat it with more respect. Their life, the way they treat others, nature itself. But for some reason, I don't think they get it. They don't really understand, like, your life is what you make it, your environment is what you make it, the world is what you make it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's all in one's hand. If you want to if you want to put yourself on the right track, or this is the thing, it's important. That's why I'm saying, like, right, it's important for us to be focused, so that the ether can help us get there. If we even freaking don't know what the hell we want, how will the energy frequency or the ether or the creator is gonna, right?
Yeah, I like to
That is
say,
the
like,
reason I was saying. Yep, go ahead.
yeah, like it's like the fastest runner in the world was that Usain Bolt. Now he's really, really fast. And we can all say he's really fast. He was the fastest man in the world. But he can only run fast if you tell him what direction to go. He has to have direction. His speed is useless.
Oh yeah. So this is the thing too, right? With even with Tesla, like, he was observing what the nature was showing him. That's real science, right? Observation, and then coming up with things based on that observation, right? The way he invented the AC motor, that AC motor work on that magnetic thing that make it spins around, the stator, right? The vortex, the, how do you call, the polaris working at the shaft of the central of the motor, and everything that spins around it with the copper and the magnets. That's how the earth functions. That's why he could make that on that same concept.
Yeah, it's like a micro of what he's seen. That's all he did, is he did it so he could use it in a machinery. That's all he
Exactly, and it worked.
did. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
If you look at an engine, man, it's just like there's so many too. You got the alternator, you got so many things that use that technology. I agree with you. We wouldn't have anything. Simple things, little things. I mean, it's everywhere. It's like what you said about the mechanical realm, the gear itself. So if you have a gear plus that, I mean, the things that you could build is just endless.
Oh yeah, if we really go in deep, the gears, like, it's used in so many different things. We wouldn't work, we wouldn't function, right? That's the reason, like, the Mayans also were using like a gear kind of thing for their calendars, right? Have you, as I said also, have you seen this Google? They made this gear thing that if you spin one gear, there are many gears together, and till the last gear spins, it's like infinite, right? So that's how a timekeeping could have been done in hundreds and thousands of years, because they knew it was cyclic, right? Everything is cyclic, everything returns, everything, right? That's the reason, because they understood how it functions as a gear ratio, right? That's real science and real maths applied to show what this realm is, and not a cartoon ball and a diagram of a sun with a solar system is going to prove anything. No, these gadgets, these timekeeping machines, these technologies, the sun itself, like all these things shows what the reality is, even though many people don't want to believe it, right? Scientifically, spiritually, however you want.
Yeah, like even what's in this picture here. So all this came from just chance, is what they're saying. Water, the beach, the fish that are in here. Like it doesn't make sense to me. Trees, none of that makes sense. Like on a happenstance. It's all designed. Everything.
Absolutely, brother. Absolutely. It's a good design. Like, this is the thing, right? I also mentioned in the mechanical realm, right, that the so-called mathematicians or Copernicus and all these people, they didn't invented maths, right? They saw what the luminaries were doing. That's how they started to learn to count, right? And then how the maths evolved, right? The sacred geometry, the intelligent design, right? These people are no one to invent anything, not even the math, right? The nature has been doing maths and gear ratio, if you want to call it, the mathematics, the real sacred geometry, right? That's the real mathematics, not the equations and the bullshit they want to give us, right? If they want to explain everything in maths, there you have that math, right? That you see in everything.
About 71% of the Earth's surface is made up of water. Therefore, the electromagnetic properties of the Sun and the Moon act like two giant magnets, altering their water level up to 17 meters above the sea surface. The Sun also has a great influence on the tectonic layers of the Earth, causing earthquakes. All areas of earthquakes are concentrated on the magnetic stripes or the paths of the Sun.
Huh.
The Sun
Interesting,
is a
huh?
large electrical
Right?
transformer.
All the hot spots are on the track of the sun. Hey, heliocentrists, how about that? From 93 million miles away, the sun is affecting those paths, right? There's hot spots all around that they have around the earth. High activity of earthquakes.
Or converter that interacts with the entire system. Eric Delaar and Nikola Tesla were persecuted because they knew too much. They both destroyed their laboratories and set them on fire. Delaar was threatened, just as Tesla was sabotaged to the end of his life. The sun is part of the perfect electrical circuit that keeps this entire system running.
Oh yeah, the sun is really important, right? Even in the timekeeping, the sun is the first cycle. The first cycle to complete a cycle, right? And then everything else have its own cycles. But the time is measured from that important sun cycle. Within small cycles, there are bigger cycles.
I was just gonna say that. It's really weird. Like they have their yearly cycle, but then they have one 7 years, and they have 19 years, and they have. It's very interesting. There's cycles within cycles within cycles.
Or gear within gear within gears. Absolutely. That was freaking awesome, guys. This is freaking amazing. Our Earth is amazing. Our sun, moon, and everything above us made for us is amazing. It looks like it's made for us. Like, even though we are taking advantage and not taking care of this intelligent design, but it's for us. It's for us, but it's not only we are not the only one. I'm not saying there are aliens, but I mean, this realm is amazing. There is so many things that exist here apart from what we can see, right? Yeah, we are here to enjoy this creation, this sunlight, this beautiful divine light that comes every day, right? And give us that energy and that electric thing to go on with our day, to do things, change the world, right? And then in the night we relax, we go down, we go inside, magnetic, right? It's required. It's this cycle of birth and death, right? It's how life functions. There's nothing to be afraid of death. People who are afraid of death is already living death.
Yes.
We have to liberate ourselves. Death is going back to the creator, which we are part of. And the heliocentric model sells going away from the creator, from the source, into the hell, right? The heaven is right here if we want to experience it, right?
Yeah,
Appreciating what is there for us. Yeah, go ahead, brother.
Yeah, we're supposed to be caretakers of this world, and we put people in charge or let people be in charge that aren't doing a good job, and so we have to make the change. And I think it's funny when somebody like, I'm just one person, but it takes one to get to 1 million. It just does. So everyone counts. Everyone counts. Everybody needs to do their part. It can't just be Vikka. It can't just be myself. Supporters help, and we just have to make sure that everybody puts that positive energy out and spreads truth. That's it. I mean, we have to step up.
Oh, yeah. These sound bites or these sounds are going there in the ether, brother. It's making the change. It's required, right? Oh, yeah, brother. Absolutely. So the globe is making it hell. We could make it a heaven, right? And we are living. It's a process of dying. That's what it is. If something is born, it needs to die. It needs to create. It needs to go in the cycle again and come back, right? Even if we want or no, it's part. Everything is part. It's all cyclic. It's showing us the earth, the sun, the moon, the luminaries. Everything is showing us. We ourselves, right? Everything is continuing. Everything is moving. Everything is alive. Everything is now. And this now is not a moment. Yep. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, for sure. Like everything has a role to play, right? Like if you're in a system of husband and wife, everybody has a role to play. But that's how it is on this earth, this world. We all have roles to play, and we're just acting against the roles of nature and what we're supposed to do here. Like I don't know if it'll ever be perfect if a man is running it, but we can do way, way, way better They're just knowing the truth.
Oh yeah, the change we want to see begins from within, right? Everything is starts within, right? We want to know the world, we want to change the world. Start within. That's it, right?
100%.
The creator has put everything inside, and we are all looking for in materialistic thing to find that divine light. No, you want to see God, start within. Absolutely amazing conversation and discussion tonight with this electric sun, the electricity, the power, the energy, right, which keeps everything going and everything moving, including us, right?
For sure.
So that spark, that voltage, right, to keep that spark there, same like the sun, comes every day, right? Even though some days are cloudy, but it's there. It's there.
Yeah.
So the same way we could learn, right? Trying to keep that spark on in these dark times. It helps.
For sure. To remember it on those days that are dark. You just got to remember what it was like.
Oh yeah, absolutely, brother. Absolutely. Every word, every spark, that every frequency that you are there putting it out there positive to see that change is affecting and will affecting and neutralizing the negative ones. So it was an awesome conversation, brother.
Thanks for having me.
Paulino, yep. Yeah, we will have our last thoughts, and yeah, we'll wrap this up. Amazing crowd tonight here. Absolutely, bro. And yep, having you as a co-host, awesome.
Yeah, we're getting our feel around. I like it because it's like just having a conversation with my friend, my new friend, and I really appreciate you letting me on or inviting me on, and learning new things. Now I'm gonna dig into this. Chelsea will start laughing because she knows how I get. Yeah, I want to get more involved in like some of these things that I've dabbled in but never really dug deep in, and I appreciate you. You're planting seeds in me to look for some other stuff. So I'll probably be doing a show on our show about this at some point. And yeah, I love it. I love that you're showing me knowledge I never knew I always needed or wanted. And I think it's amazing.
Oh yeah, brother, absolutely. As I said, we all try to learn together and connect the dots together. And yeah, as you always say, the more seeds we could plant, right, it's good. And that's the best part, right? When we see those seeds grow and germinate, right? And we need to continue, even if some people don't want to water those seeds, but maybe some days, and some seeds can last really, really long. So it was great to have you, brother. And yeah, we will see for the next week's topic.
Oh, yeah,
and absolutely, bro.
All right.
So this is the thing, whether this vision represents truth or reinterpretations, one thing is undeniable, right? That the universe is electric, right? It's an intelligent design. So thanks for being here, everyone. Everybody in the chat for spending your time with us. This is Vikka, I think, signing out, guys. See you next week. Bye, everyone. Love you all.
Bye, guys.
They say the system heavy, built of iron and coal, but it panics at a tweet and a kid with a phone. Fort Knox made of glass, just reflections and smoke. One mirror in the wrong hands and the whole thing chokes. Kings in their castles, Wi-Fi in the moat, guarding the bandwidth like it's Holy Ghost. They flex stability, I just laugh in my throat. You ain't strong if you scared of a single post. They say, trust the structure is too big to fall. Funny how it blocks me but boosts them all. If we had the same reach, same megaphone call, they'd hear thunder in the silence of their marble halls. Oh, look how mighty. Yeah, look how tough. Shakes when the crowd gets a little too loud. What? Equal signal, watch the pillars turn dust. Build, don't control, cause the truth ain't enough. You call it power, I call it bluff. Whole empire weak when the noise is us. They drippin' freedom like it's merch in a shop. Limited edition terms and conditions on top. They curate courage, algorithmic props. Only brave when the comments are filtered and locked. They sell me choice with a preset menu. Every lane gated, every dream venue. Say speak your mind, then they mute the venue. Guess free speech means free for the few, too. They say you're paranoid, the game is fair. Funny how the winners all share the same air. Same sponsor, same script, same millionaire stare. Tell me who's fragile when they can't share. Oh, look how mighty. Yeah, look how tough. Shakes when the crowd gets a little too loud. What? Equal signal, watch the pillars turn dust. Built on control, cause the truth ain't enough. You call it power, I call it bluff. Whole empire weak when the noise is us. If the mic was neutral, if the feed was clean, if the reach was equal, know what that mean? No gods on pedestals, no smoke on the screen. Just humans realizing they're not what they seem. They ain't giants, they're shadows on the wall. Projecting big cause they scared we'll stand tall. All that order, just a carefully placed stall. One real echo in the house of cards fall. So keep your crown, made of bandwidth and fear. We'll keep planting voices in the cracks you can't hear. You don't rule the world, you just rent the veneer. And the least get shaky when the people get near.